Welcome to Mind and Movement, getting smart about how you move. I'm Hazel. Thanks for joining me for Coffee and Move number 45. It's a beautiful, freezing cold day here in Christchurch. I think we've had the first frost this morning, which is really, really cool. So today I thought we'd do some shoulders and neck stuff, some stuff that we haven't done before. And let's start by grabbing a shopping bag. So I'm going to use this shopping bag. You can use whatever shopping bag you like. To start with, you're just going to grab it with your, so my palms are facing down, you can see there, but I'm grabbing it and squeezing this. Then I'm going to bring my shoulders so they're down my back, not squeezing them together, but just so they're not up around my ears, they're dropped down in a more neutral position. So I'm going to pull out with my hands, but then I'm going to, let me do this, I'm going to internally rotate my humeruses and squeeze my elbows together. So I'm taking this bone, rotating it that way to squeeze the elbows in together while pulling apart. Yeah. Then I'm going to just drop my neck to the side. So when you're doing this, make sure you're not rib thrusting. That means you should not be doing this. You should have your ribs down in the front and your ribs in a neutral position over your ASIS, your anterior superior iliac spine. Google that. And so let's take that neck to the other side. Also make sure that you're not doing this or this with your wrists. Your wrists want to be straight in line with your hands. Which side was I doing that one? Okay, the next one is same thing, only this time my palms are up. So now we're taking this bone into even more of an externally rotated position. We're taking ourselves out of this position, right? Into a different position to move our muscles in a new and different way. So again, we're going to pull out with the hands, but squeeze those elbows in towards each other. Feel that in the back of the shoulders, it's awesome, right? So you're pulling, you're squeezing, and again, you're just dropping the neck from side to side. Make sure that you're not rib thrusting, so none of this, drop those ribs down. And just play around with that one. I've already done that one quite a lot this morning, and man, my shoulders feel good. They feel really, really lubricated, and I feel like they've got a lot of blood flow. So the next one we're going to do here is a stretch for the jaw. It's the platysma muscle, which is a skin muscle through the front here. It's that yikes muscle, you know, when you go, it's that muscle that gets all tense through the front. So I'm going to actually I'm going to put my hand here and pull down on my skin, but I'm going to put it under my shirt so I can grab my skin and pull down. Then I'm going to lift my head up. So many people when they do this for the first time kind of jut their neck forward like that. That's not where you want to be. You want to be here. So I'm lengthening through the back of the neck, but then I reach my chin up, and then I jut my chin forward. When I'm doing this, I feel like one of those, you know, those deep sea anglerfish with the lights, those little probes, and they have the lights that hang out in front of them. I feel like one of those fish when I'm doing this. So, pulling down on the platysma at the front there, let me show you by putting that hand there as well. So, not jutting your chin forward, but reaching your chin up and then taking your jaw forward. And you feel like one of those anglerfish. I do. And then you're going to take your head from side to side. So you really feel a pull into the jaw. Oh yeah. If you've got ear issues, you might hear your ears pop. Hallelujah. Make sure those shoulders aren't creeping up the back there like mine were just then. Okay, so one more time. Pulling down with your hands on that skin. Bringing your head up, but jutting that chin forward. And then taking it from side to side. Wow. This is the anglerfish, or the platysma stretch. The platysma is, I think it's our only skin muscle that we have left. You know how horses have those, and cows and animals can like make their skin shudder so that flies leave them and whatnot. There are skin muscles like the platysma that are doing that. So who knows why we have this here? I don't actually know. It's probably for helping us with facial expressions and communication, but I'm not sure about the purpose of the platysma. Maybe it's a protective thing around all our hyoids and all those wonderful neck muscles. Not sure. Anyway, let's do just a little bit of nice shoulder rolly things. So how high up can you get your shoulders? When you do this, does this feel normal? Are you here all the time? How far down can you relax those shoulders? And then how far back can you take them? How far forward can you take them? Oh, let's do that one. So just grab your shoulders. Like, so I am basically having my hands around my scapulas, and look, I can do this movement, but that's my scapulas moving. So I'm going to hold my scapulas still and then move at my glenohumeral joint. Can you do that without your scaps moving? And again, you don't want your scaps to be up here, let them drop down and bring them up the front here. Not much movement there. You need to work on this one. Okay, and let's finish up by jumping into the wonderful windmill stretch. So you want to make sure that when you're doing this one, your ribs are down in relation to your pelvis as well. So lying down with something underneath your head. This knee is on the ground, that other leg can be straight. And you know, I'm not with my shoulders all up around my ears here, so I'm going to relax them down a bit. This arm is going to come up and I'm going to reach it up towards the ceiling from my elbow, not from my hand. I am then externally rotating and then I am coming back. So I'm twisting my spine a little bit here, and that's in roll. So, but I'm not thrusting my rib cage. So if you find my hands on my rib cage there, see how it's coming forward towards you now? That's because I've lifted it up. If I curled my fingers around the top of my ribs there, I could get my hands up in there. You don't want to be able to do that. You want to have them nice and flush with the abdominal muscles there, the bottom of those ribs. So here we go again, reaching up towards the ceiling via the elbow, not from the hand, externally rotating. So my thumb is going back towards the ground. I'm still reaching, now I'm reaching towards that back wall. And how far over there can you get? Then when you're in that position, you can just play, bring your arm up around here. Oh yeah. There's a spot. That feels so good. I can feel it. I can feel it right through my front functional line. If you don't know what that is, look up anatomytrains.com. Awesome. And Google the front functional line. Oh, so good. Really deep into the pec. When I first started doing these stretches, I'd only feel them here in my bicep because my bicep was so tight. Now I can feel them all the way down through my chest and down towards my pelvis sometimes, which is wonderful. So let's do that on the other side. Again, head on something to bolster, basically so you're not pulling the rib cage up. So the reason we're bolstering under the head here is if you put your hand, so I've taken the bolster away, and if I put my head down, now can you see how my rib cage here has been lifted up? But if I bring my head back up, can you see how my rib cage has come down? And so here when I drop my head down, because there's tension between my neck and my shoulder and my rib cage, when I just relax my head, my rib cage gets pulled up, right? So I'm going to bolster my head so that my rib cage isn't getting pulled up. And then the aim of this is to keep that rib cage in this nice position and then move the shoulder joint. So I'm not moving my rib cage, I'm keeping my rib cage in a nice kind of neutral position. It might get a bit of rotation, but I'm not thrusting it up towards the sky, I'm not thrusting it forward towards you. I'm just trying to keep it in the same position as I externally rotate, reach up through the elbow. and take my arm this way. So that's why we're bolstering, to get the parts of us in kind of positions that mean that there's no positional inhibition or postural inhibition of the muscle, so that the muscle can actually work. And I could not bolster and just lift my head, but then I'm bringing a whole lot of extra tension into movements, and I don't want any extra tension in my movements. So we use bolsters. Bolsters are great. I read a study the other day that said that Shavasana, lying flat on the floor in yoga, is one of the most injurious poses, because people's bodies, when they're lying on the floor, are pulling their bodies in all kinds of positions, because they have a lot of tension. So that's why in yoga they do a lot of bolstering as well. Play bolstering the head up, bolstering the shoulders up, bolstering under knees if that psoas is really short and tight. Whew. I am tighter on this side. I'm going to hang out here today. It's going to be my stretch of the day, the windmill. Anyway, have fun with your shoulders. Have a wonderful day today, whatever you're doing. If you have any questions, please get in touch at hazel@mindinmovement.co.nz. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for Coffee and Move number 46. Peace.